Hello friends, and welcome to another video of mine, to my book channel. My name is Nana, and in this video I'm going through some books that are perfect for fall. Some of them I like and some of them I don't like that much. Some of them are really popular and I just wanted to give my opinion on them. Let's get started. The first book on the list is, I guess, one of the most popular books for fall if you're into dark academia, and that's The Secret History by Donna Tart, and I read that last year. I didn't know much about it at the time, and I didn't know much about dark academia at the time, but I definitely see why this book is called the mother of dark academia. And I didn't like it. I didn't think that I would, because I knew that I was following a bad guy's perspective, and that's usually not my thing, but it really did work in this book. So yeah, that was quite nice. It's about Richard, and he goes to this elite university. He fight his way into this university. Now, that's how I remember it. Anyways, there he finds that there's this group studies ancient Greek. Is it just called ancient Greek, or is it called like ancient Greek mythology? I don't know. Anyways, you know what I mean. And they're very secretive, and it's a small group, and this professor is really enchanting in some way, and he really wants to be in this group. And again, he fights his way to get into this group, and he gets to be a part of it. These people that are in this group, they're kind of like dangerous to themselves because of these highly ideas that they have. And I don't want to spoil much more, but they're not great people. And it is definitely dark academia. Definitely. So yeah, go check it out if that's a thing you want to try to read. I was surprised that I did like it. I think it was like a 4-star for me. And sometimes I still think about this book because it was just so crazy. I think that's the word for it. Yeah. Let's move on to a more scary book, and that's The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I don't think this book was scary to me, but the TV adaptation of it was... I was scared. I was really scared when I saw that. I don't think the book and the TV show is that much similar. It's about the same house, but that's pretty much it. But the book is about Eleanor, who is invited to come stay at this supposedly haunted house with this, was he a professor? And he also invited some other people he thought had some contact to the paranormal world in some way, that they could feel it, and that's why he wanted those people to be with him at this haunted house to see if they could catch up on the paranormal activity that apparently is going on in this house. Then the story unravels. Maybe people are getting possessed. I don't want to spoil much more. And the ending was really, that was really something as well. Yeah, that was also a little bit crazy, I will say. I wasn't scared. I wasn't spooked. I think you can easily read this book. And then the next book is a thriller, and this was definitely a cover read because I just thought the cover was so stunning. And it's called Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. And in this one you follow Mary and her wife Leah. And Leah is lost under the sea in this submarine. She is down there with her crew for a very long time, and they were not supposed to be down there. But they survived, and she comes back again to Mary. And then it's about their relationship. You go a little bit back and forth in time here, where you follow Leah's perspective down the submarine, and then you follow Mary's perspective when Leah has come back to Mary. There's a lot of magical realism, I guess, in this book. I didn't get it. I really did not get it. And I think magical realism is such a hit and miss for me. This one did not work for me at all. It's just essentially about Leah turning into a fish. No. But if you're into weird thrillers with magical realism, and where you have to be like, how can I analyze on this then? Oh yeah. If you're that kind of person, maybe, but for me, no. Then we have Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl, and this is a thriller, but a YA thriller, and you follow Beatrice. She meets up with her friends that she hasn't seen for a long time to celebrate graduation, I think. They all get stuck in this time loop because something happened a year ago, and they have to solve it. This crime that happened. It's really interesting to read about time loops. Anyways, I love that. And this took place on this very rainy day, so that's why it's really perfect for fall, I guess. I really like that rainy vibe that there was to this book, and it was YA, but in this book I really didn't mind. I liked it, so yeah. Then I read another thriller that would be good for fall. I don't think this is so popular, I don't know, but it is Ruth Ware, and she is really popular on BookTube, and it's called The Death of Mrs. Westaway. And in this one you follow Hall, and she receives this letter that there is an inheritance, yeah, waiting for her because her aunt died. And she's like, I don't have an aunt. She thinks that this must definitely be a mistake, but she goes to this will reading anyways, and the people there are not very nice because they're like, who are you? Are you trying to steal our money? And her life gets in danger at some point. And yeah, it was suspenseful and exciting as well. It was just a good fall book, so that's why I included it. Then we have the scariest book I have on the list, and that's called We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kliewer. And I think if this was made into a movie, I would be so... As a book, it was scary, but I'm not like, ooh, you know, it's, ooh. Okay, sorry. Books are just never that scary for me, but this one was definitely up there. You follow this woman. She just bought this house with her partner, and then one day a man comes knocking at her door, and he's like, hey, I used to live here, and this is my wife and my kids. Can we come in and see how the house is doing now? It's been a long time. And she's like, I don't want a stranger in my house. But they just somehow get in. You know, they can do that. And then things are starting to go south. And you don't know if it is her going crazy or if it is the family that's actually really bad. You don't know. It was so interesting. I think I gave it a 5-star, or maybe almost a 5-star. So if you're into horror books, this one is really good. You know, just sometimes they can get splatterish, and that's not my style. This is way more my style. So yeah, go check it out if you're there. It's like quiet horror, small town, creepy vibes, and just very unsettling, you know? So let's move on to the more cozy stuff, witchy stuff, romance stuff. And the first one is called Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman, and this is definitely a very popular cozy witchy book that there is, and there's also a movie. I haven't seen it. This book was maybe more like a 3-star for me. Cozy vibes, witchy vibes. I want to like it, I really do. I just haven't found anything I like yet. Anyways, this one was alright. You follow the Owen sisters, and magic runs in their family. They also have this curse running in their family where it just ruins love for them. But yeah, obviously they're trying to fight it in the end, and it's also about sisters reconnecting. That was, yeah, I really like that part, you know. I have always wanted a sister. So this one is cozy magical realism, like, yeah, I think you can say that, and witchy vibes. And I think a lot of people are really loving that. So if you haven't read this one and you're into that theme, it fits perfectly. And the next one is called The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I don't know if I hated this one, but it was a 2-star for me. You know, I really tried to enjoy the fall, cozy vibe that the book had. I really tried, and there were some parts of it that I did enjoy, but overall it got to be too cheesy. You follow Vivienne, who curses her ex-boyfriend after a bad breakup, and then years later he returns to this town where she lives, at this university town, and this curse is just creating chaos. Together they try to fight it, and obviously okay, I don't want to spoil it, but you guessed it. It tried to be funny, it just came off as cheesy, and the romance, I guess I just didn't really quite get. But it's definitely like this romantic, witchy rom-com. So if that's your thing, then go check this out. I have heard many people really do like it on BookTube, and that it is their favorite fall book. It doesn't work for me, but I think it works for many people. And another book that didn't really work for me was Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. And in this one you follow Jenny, and Jenny inherits this cafe from her aunt. I think her aunt went traveling or something. I don't think she died, I don't remember. Anyways, it is in this small town. She's a big city girl, and there she meets this small town boy. It was just so cliche as well. And then there's this pumpkin festival, and then they just have a lot of you know, and that's basically it. Yeah, I think it is a series. I have heard that the series gets better and better, but I don't want to give it a try. It's not my thing. I love romance books, but not these kind of romance. It's just too much of a rom-com feeling. I don't know how to describe it. But if you like the X-Hex, I definitely think you would like the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. And then we have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandanna. And this is similar to the other two, but it's not magical realism and it's not a rom-com. It's just more cozy fantasy with romance to it, and it worked better for me. It's still a 3-star, but yeah, it was a much better book than the other two. And this book has also been highly popular on BookTube. Naturally, I had to give it a try. And you follow Micah Moon, and she's used to hide her magic because that's what witches do in this world. And then one day she gets asked to teach these 3 young girls. She goes to this hidden house, and there she finds, what's it called? A newfound family. Their ward, I think it's their ward, not uncle. Maybe it's their uncle, is this grumpy guy. And she's this really Miss Sunshine woman. So naturally there's a love thing going on there. She really connects with these 3 girls as well. Yeah, so it's definitely about a found family. It was alright, but still cozy fantasy. It's just, I don't know, I need something more, but a 3-star. So. And then we have something that's a little bit different, a myth retelling, and it's Circe by Madeline Miller. This is a Greek mythology book. Is that not how you say it? Where you follow Circe, and Circe is a minor goddess, and she is always overshadowed by the other goddess and gods' powers. And then one day she seeks revenge for something, and then she gets banished to live on this island, and this is her island. She is the only one who is living there. But still, so many gods or humans or monsters or creatures are coming to this island anyways. There's a lot of stories into one, I would say. But somehow it all connects very nicely. And Madeline Miller's writing is definitely exceptional. I don't think I have read anyone that could write like her, you know? So yeah, definitely give it a try. It's a different fall recommendation, but I think it really works for fall, definitely when she's on that island there. And then we have The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, and this is a YA fantasy. It's a series. I think there's 4 books in the series. I only read the first two, but it was really great. It's just that I had some trouble understanding the narrator on my audiobook app. Maybe one day I should buy the books. But I definitely did enjoy the first two. And you follow Blue, and she comes from this family of psychics. Not sidekicks, but psychics. Blue herself has no powers, but she meets Gansey, who comes from this, I think it's a high school, the Raven High School, and that's only for boys. And somehow she gets into his friend group, and they're on the hunt for this long gone, buried magical king. This quest is really interesting, and there's also other things going on, but perfect for fall. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed the vibe. There's also a love interest going on, definitely a slow burn. I think the series is really good. I just had trouble understanding the narrator, but you know, that's how it is. I am Danish, by the way. I don't think I say that very often, but I am Danish. I think I understand most books, and this was also an American narrator. I asked my husband to listen to it as well, and he came back and said, you know what? I also had some trouble with it. Okay, I was like, I'm not the only one. And he's really good with English. I think I speak it better, but you know, he understands everything. And so I was a bit relieved because it's also YA. So anyways, and then we have another dark academia book, and that's called The Maidens by Alex Mychielides. I still haven't learned how to pronounce that last name. Anyways, this one is about Mandanna, and she's a therapist. One day her niece is calling her, and she's like, you know, one of my friends just got murdered at my university. And naturally she goes there straight away, and she's trying to solve this thing. It was definitely at times a bit too convenient, because Mandanna just gets into every crime scene, and you know, it was way too convenient, but it was really exciting. I was still hooked. I'm just saying that it was very convenient, but I would definitely recommend this, and Alex Mychielides in general. His thrillers are really exciting. I'm always having a good time reading his books. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. Another YA thriller is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, and in this one you follow Pippa. And for a school project she chooses a closed murder case, but the body of this girl has never been found, and she's quite convinced that the boy who got accused of this murder is innocent. And she teams up with the brother of the accused boy. It was really interesting. It's a trilogy. It was so exciting, and there's so many plot twists in it. And yeah, it's definitely one of the best YA thriller books I have read. It was so good, and I have only heard positive things about this. I haven't read the newest release from Holly Jackson. I think that's a standalone book, but I will definitely have to read that. But this series is definitely a 5-star, and I could not recommend it enough. So exciting, and there's a Netflix adaptation of it now. I haven't seen it yet, but one day I will. And then at last I have some dystopian sci-fi books, because I think they are great for fall. And I definitely wanted to read more of them. I just made my TBR, and after I was like, why didn't I search for dystopian books more? I will see if I include some of them for my fall readings, because I love these books so much. And the first one I wanted to recommend in this list is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This book is about this virus that pretty much wiped out most of the population. But then you follow different people before, during, after, and somehow all of their stories come together in the end. And I really love how Emily St. John Mandel is doing that. She's doing that in all of her books, but in this book particular, it was just done so well. And the dystopian themes in this book, I took it all in. I really enjoyed it. But I will say, with everything that's happening right now in the world, I don't know if I'm that much into dystopian books anyways. It just gets you to think a lot, right? And the next one is called The Last by Hanna Jameson. And in this one you follow a group of people that are at this hotel. And while they're at this hotel, they found out that a lot of the big cities around the world has been bombed. Then the internet goes down, and a lot of people are driving away from this hotel. It's up in the mountains in Switzerland. A group of people are deciding to stay, I think like 20 or 30 people. And then it's about them surviving at this big hotel, very secluded hotel. And it was definitely suspenseful. I really enjoyed this as well. And there's also a murder mystery there. Again, I guess it gets you thinking with everything that's going on in the world. I think it's a little bit easier to read about a virus instead of, warfare. And that was the last book for now. I hope that you could find some inspiration from this. And yeah, I hope to see you in another video. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. That would be really nice. And maybe a little subscribe, maybe. So yeah, I will see you in another video. Bye.